Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of our bizarre and unusual world. Today we will be diving into a rather interesting topic, a topic that spooks out a lot of different people. Today we will be discussing coulrophobia, or fear of clowns.
Breakfast! I'm hungry! Take it from Crinkles, that's me.
Yes, today we will be talking all about clowns and the fear of clowns. As usual, I will be covering the who, what, when, where, why, and how of coulrophobia. First off, let's start with the what. What exactly is coulrophobia? So, fear of clowns has come to be known as a psychiatric condition called coulrophobia. This word supposedly comes from the ancient Greek word koulro, which means to go on stilts. But most people haven't actually heard the term coulrophobia. Now, it's not just children that suffer from fear of clowns. Many people that have this specific anxiety disorder are middle-aged. While Steve Saltzman, MD, an assistant professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School, says that real cases of this phobia where someone is completely unable to be in the same room as a clown are rather rare. But clearly this phobia does tie into a variety of different anxiety disorders and is very real for some people. It can result in many different physical, mental, or emotional symptoms, such as nausea or feelings of dread, accelerated heartbeat, rapid breathing, crying, screaming out, and having massive panic attacks.
This one's kind of scary.
Oh, gosh.
Go ahead and take a look at it. What's going to happen if you look at it?
Nothing.
All right, let's take a look. Stare at it. Good. Can you give me a number? Keep on looking, you're doing fine. It's okay.
So now let's go back to the where of clowns. Clowns, jesters, or similar titles have been around for thousands of years. Modern clowns are often tied to what is known as the rustic fool character, which was from ancient Greek and Roman theater, but there are also different ties connecting to Egypt as well. Throughout history, we have similar patterns to these words. Around 1560, the word clown meant rustic or peasant. Those origins potentially coming from a Scandinavian word for clumsy. We also have reference to clowns or fools in different Shakespeare work as well. Into the 17th century, we see the Harlequin clown and different interpretations of that. Some of the more classical features of the clown were created in the 1800s, mostly for theater. And then we have the circus clown, which was created in the 19th century. It is often referred to as the red clown, with kind of crazy outfits, drastic makeup, exaggerated facial features like the big red nose or big feet. In the early 20th century, the clown once again shifted and kind of became more of what was known as a hobo clown or a tramp clown. This can be seen in things like Charlie Chaplin's The Tramp from 1914, or Emmett Kelly's Weary Willie, which was inspired by the Depression era. Another tramp circus clown character was played by Otto Grimling, and that was from the 1930s to the 1950s. Then we get into the newer type of clown, like Bozo the Clown, and that was a popular TV show in the 60s into the 70s. For a while, clowns were so tied to children's care that a lot of hospital wings actually created a clown unit to help care for some of the ill children. And then of course we have clowns like Ronald McDonald that were introduced. Then moving into the 1980s, this is when we really first started to see the evil clown take. The clown stopped being kind of the fool of the town or the clumsy fool and became scarier and creepier. And Stephen King only added to this when he decided to write a little book called It in 1986. Moving on to the why. Why are people scared of clowns? Of course, we cannot have the exact answer to this, but doctors, professors, and psychiatrists do have some thoughts and feelings.
Clowns make me feel unnerved, uncomfortable,
Anxious.
They're really creepy. You don't know what's happening behind all of that makeup.
grown people should not be wearing like caked on makeup. That's horrifying.
Psychologists believe that the fear of clowns can be deeply rooted into childhood. This is mostly because children under the age of 4 are very reactive to unfamiliar faces and familiar body type. Basically meaning that a clown has similar features to a human, but there are differences or changes that the clown makes to his appearance, whether that be with makeup or adding a big nose or big arms or feet, giving that new look that is almost different and not quite human anymore, and that can cause unease. To some people, this can be seen as something that's comical, and to others, it can be seen as monstrous or almost a deformity. So the figure is lifelike enough to be disturbing, but not realistic enough to be pleasant. For some children, experiencing this at a young age can easily carry that phobia into adulthood. You also have to consider a clown's behavior. For say someone that's introverted, a clown being all up in your face and very outgoing and bubbly would be a little bit unsettling. Even as an adult, that can be a little bit uncomfortable.
There are some people that theorize that the fact that clowns are almost human-like but not quite might make them kind of scary.
I was told there'd be no clowns. Nothing scarier than a clown.
In psychology and cognitive neuroscience, pattern recognition describes the process of matching information to a stimulus with other information retrieved from the memory. A quote from Steve Saltzman: "With clowns, you have 2 arms and legs and a face. It's human. Like most monsters, it's recognizable shape that's tweaked. The perpetual smile is by itself a different type of pattern recognition because we look at the people's expressions to get a sense of what to feel upon seeing them. But a clown doesn't do anything but smile, so you don't really know what it's thinking or what it's feeling, and all of those things are playing on pattern recognition." So it's like they're almost human-like, but it's tweaked in a way that can bother certain people. So who is to blame for this phobia? It's easy to say that a lot of people blame the entertainment industry and the media for emphasizing this phobia. Numerous films, shows, and literature have been created over the years to play up that fear, and it's a great way to poke at that phobia in young or anxious minds. So of course we have the 1990 It movie that was based on the Stephen King book, and now this year we have the 2017 remake.
Aren't you going to say hello?
Many people also tied the different variations of the Joker into this fear as well. We have Cesar Romero from the 1966 Batman series.
Make those messages clear!
Jack Nicholson in the 1989 Batman movie. Heath Ledger in the 2008 Dark Knight.
I don't want to kill you.
And the newest form of the Joker was Jared Leto in the 2016 Suicide Squad. And of course, all the many different variations we've seen of Joker, whether that be in books, comics, cartoons, things of that nature. Then we have things like American Horror Story. Twisty from the 2015 Freak Show season scared the crap out of people. He was a very popular character and everyone was talking about him, but it only added to the fear of clowns. And this whole current season has referenced clowns since the first teasers we've got. And if you're watching this season, then you know that there have been a couple different clown sightings as well, only adding to the fear and phobia of clowns. We even have the thought of the media reporting creepy clown cases and adding to that fear. One that a lot of people think to is the 1978 John Wayne Gacy case. He was a real-life serial killer that was named the Killer Clown. So that type of information in the media isn't going to help anybody's fear. Now, as I said, clowns or equivalent versions of them have been around for many, many years, decades, centuries. So when thinking to the when for this episode, I decided to focus on something a little bit more recent. We all remember the clown sightings from 2016. There were so many reports of people dressed in creepy clown costumes, near forests, near roads, schools even. Now, for the most part, these people were just dressed up to play a prank or to be funny, but there were situations where there were certain clowns dressed up and they had weapons in their hands. We even had different people arrested during that crazy clown phase that so much of the world seemed to go through last year. One of the first clown sightings was reported by a 9-year-old boy in South Carolina when he told his mother that 2 men dressed as clowns tried to lure him into the woods. Ugh! Creepy. That's just like so creepy. By mid-October 2016, clown sightings had been reported in nearly all 50 states. Several places in Canada, and close to 18 other countries as well. I remember my friend from England telling me that a national police warning went out that people dressed in clown costumes would be met with armed response in all cases. It got really scary. It went from being like just simple pranks to being kind of terrifying. People were cited or arrested for making threats to children, to adults, to schools. Some of these incidents even involved robberies or assaults on adults and children.
Go the other way! What are you doing? Stop! Oh my god!
So, focusing back on the phobia, how is coulrophobia cured? The fear of clowns is often treated like other phobias. Treatments like gradually becoming in contact with the fear, so in this case the clowns, hopefully to build up kind of immunity to it after a while, and so you have a better response when you actually see a clown.
We're gonna walk in, we're gonna take a seat.
I can't walk in with a clown there.
What's gonna happen?
I'd rather be sitting there and have him come in or something.
Okay, what's gonna happen?
I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna leave.
Why?
Because I don't think I'm ready for this and prepared for this enough.
What's gonna happen if there's a clown in the room? Is he gonna hurt you?
No.
Okay, are you gonna have a strong physical reaction?
Yes.
So, there we have it, fear of clowns. I'm very curious to hear if any of you have fear of clowns and to what degree. Personally, I don't really care for clowns, but I can handle them. I don't really think it's a phobia of mine. I didn't really like clowns as a child because my grandma had these creepy doll clowns throughout her house, and Tim Curry scared the shit out of me when I first saw it. But today, they're just a little bit uncomfortable, and I can handle them. As always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a big like. It really does let me know that you are enjoying this series. And be sure to subscribe for more content. I have a lot of stuff coming up this October Halloween season. Thanks guys, and I will see you in the next video.